Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Aditi. If you're new here, I make videos about creativity and motherhood. In today's video, I really wanted to chat about the day-to-day things that I've been doing that make me feel creative again. And they are realistic and accessible, and they still give me that sense of joy and satisfaction. If you're a mum who's trying to get back into any sort of creative projects, consider this a permission slip to change things up. You don't have to always do what you've been doing before baby. You can always try different things, see what fits in the season of life, and see what works for you. So one of the first things that I've been really enjoying lately is baking. Baking, something that I've returned to time and time again throughout my life. I find that it recalibrates me almost. Just whenever I'm feeling sad, stressed, overwhelmed, or even just really excited and I need to channel my energy into something, baking's always there. I've been baking more intentionally these past couple of months. Everything from sweet and savory things, vegan, non-vegan, whatever it is. I'm just really enjoying the sort of experimental scientific side of things of baking, and it's not only great for myself but also for my daughter. Now that she's a bit older, she can sort of join in, even though half the time she's just snacking on things anyway. Uh-oh. One of the best parts about baking is that you can always save it in the kitchen to share with your kids afterwards. So it makes me feel a little bit more prepared. And whenever it's snack time, which, let's be real, feels like all of the time, my daughter wants a snack plate basically all the time, and you've got some nice baked goods ready to go if they'll eat it. And I also really love sharing my baking with other people. Like the other day, I made some savory buns and I drove over to my brother and his girlfriend's house and dropped it off. And, I went in for a cup of tea and a little chat, and it was just like a lovely little opportunity to connect. And I love that. I love bringing people baked goods, showing my love that way. That's definitely one of my love languages, sort of gifts and food and making things for people. I know baking can be quite stressful for some people, but like a lot of things, I think the magic is in the process. Just the mixing, the kneading, the repetitiveness of a lot of it is quite soothing for me. It just helps me be more present, helps my random thoughts racing through my head calm down a little bit and just become more grounded. I have anxiety disorder and I have had it for over 10 years, and I do really find that this helps calm my nervous system down, which is always a good thing.
All done.
In these clips of me baking, I made a vegan lemon and blueberry cake. It did not turn out well, let me be honest. It was quite dense and almost bread-like, almost like a scone, which isn't a bad thing because the combination of lemon and blueberries is iconic. So it still tasted pretty good. My daughter demolished it. I think I overmixed it or something, but it doesn't even matter. That's not even the point. It was just so fun to put together, and it was just such a fun afternoon, and that's what the point is. I don't really consider myself super skilled or knowledgeable in baking. It's honestly just about how it makes me feel, and that could be any hobby for you as well. Like, you don't necessarily have to be good at it as long as you find some kind of joy, happiness, satisfaction out of it. That's what matters at the end of the day. I mean, we're not being assessed or marked on this, so it's not really like a high risk environment. Nothing terrible is going to happen if your cake doesn't turn out well, or if your painting doesn't turn out well, or whatever. So just have fun with it. I think another thing is a lot of the stuff we do as mums or as parents in the kitchen are stuff that we sort of have to do, like make meals, make lunch, make dinner, wash dishes, clean up, all of that. But baking is something we don't have to do in the kitchen, and it's quite fun. Like, no one's going to starve if there isn't a cake that day. It's purely for enjoyment. So I think we all owe that to ourselves. Some things that I've baked in the last couple of months are banana bread with dark chocolate chips. I also made another banana bread, a vegan one, that I took over to a friend's house when we went over for lunch. I made a vegan honey cake. blueberry Greek yogurt muffins, which my daughter did love the first time I made it. So I made it again, and naturally, as toddlers do, she completely changed her mind and would not have a single bite. I made kara buns, which if you're Indians, especially South Indian, maybe you've heard of it. They're like spicy-ish savory buns with like onion, cumin, chili. They're just really lovely with some melted butter in the middle. The next thing I've been loving is knitting. I know this is a popular hobby with mums, and rightfully so, but a little backstory first. I first dabbled in knitting back in year 8. I joined a knitting club. My memory is hazy, but I made this purple acrylic scarf. I remember it had like giant holes in it, and it was basically a rectangle that barely wrapped around my neck. I have no idea where it is now. I don't think I did much knitting after that. Many years passed, and I honestly don't know what sparked me to pick up knitting needles again. I have, and I'm so glad I have. It's such an amazing creative outlet. The first thing I absolutely love about knitting is that it's such a low maintenance hobby. There's no cleanup, there's hardly any setup, if any at all, unless you're working with a bunch of different colors. You can pick it up really quickly off the bench, sit on the couch, do some knitting. You can put it down as soon as your daughter wakes up from a nap or your child needs you. If you're a mum, you know that our days aren't too predictable. Some days we have more time, some days we have no time. You just never know how your day is going to go. So it's really wonderful for squeezing it into whenever you have time during the day. And if you're completely exhausted at the end of the day, I mean, I'm all for just couch rotting and scrolling and TV if that's what you need. But a knitting project isn't that energy consuming. It is totally doable at the end of a tired day. Another thing I love about knitting is that once you settle into a project and you know what you're doing, it's just a constant repetitive process. And similar to the baking, it really helps an anxious girl like me just calm down the thoughts, stop thinking about random things, maybe even process some things. You can also do it while you do other things, like maybe you're catching up with your partner about your days, or you're watching something, or your child's playing in front of you. You can knit. The final thing I have written down, and it's a really big one for me, is that it gives me a sense of accomplishment. You don't have to have tons of finished projects to feel like you've achieved something with knitting, because even just knitting a couple of rows, you're able to see your project physically evolve right in front of your eyes. And that's a really great feeling. It builds self-trust, and it proves to you that you can actually create time for yourself and create time for your creativity. I said create a lot, but you know what I mean. I thought I would show you some of the stuff that I've been working on. It's nothing crazy. Just started knitting a couple of months ago, and I am an extraordinarily slow knitter. But the first little square I made, super exciting. And then I followed this tutorial on YouTube to make a dishcloth. I'm not going to actually use it as a dishcloth. I just made it with some cheap acrylic random yarn that I had lying around the house. But it made me feel really good. Like, it's got like a cute little border around it, and it gave me the confidence to then move on to something that's actually usable and wearable, because I don't think I missed any stitches in this or anything. It also taught me to trust the process as well, because when I first started knitting it, like the first sort of couple of rows, it just sort of looked like a blob, and I was thinking I'm definitely doing this wrong. But something in me just told me to keep going, and I kept going, and it actually worked out in the end. So yeah, I'm glad that I kept going. I am currently working on the Ralphie bonnet by, who is it by? Golden Knitworks. I bought this pattern off Etsy, and the inner millennial in me told me to print it out, so I did. So this is what it looks like right now. So this is going to be a bonnet for my daughter. The main body's all knit. I just need to attach it at the back and then do I-cord at the front so it can tie up around the neck. This was a really great project for where I'm at the moment. I wanted something that I knew how to comfortably start so I could make a start. And then once I didn't know a particular skill, I would go out there and find out how to do it. So that first skill for me was knitting stripes and changing color without cutting the yarn. So I found a really good YouTube video for that. Let me know if you'd like to know what it is and I can link it below. And yeah, I knitted these stripes and I'm really proud of myself. I feel like it turned out really well. And then the next part I needed to do was the ribbing on top. That was knit one, purl one, and for whatever reason, I could not do knit one, purl one. Like it just kept bunching up into multiple stitches. So I would just add like 5 new stitches and I just don't know where they would come from, and it was such a pain. So I joined this knitting Facebook group and I reached, I wrote a post saying, asking if there's anyone in my area that could help out, and I got some lovely responses, and I actually met up with a person who taught me how to do the ribbing at the top, and that worked out really well. So yeah, that's actually another thing, you know, helps build community. I mean, any or most hobbies will do that for you, but I think knitting is a really lovely one, and anyone who knits is so lovely. I mean, not complimenting myself, but but like all the people in the Facebook group, so many people were so keen to help. Like the person that I met up with, she drove 30 minutes out of her way to come help me, and I feel like that's very kind. The next part is the mattress stitch at the back. I know there's a million, is it called a mattress stitch? It's called garter stitch. What? Yes, it is called a mattress stitch. There's a lot of videos online and I feel like it's a pretty straightforward process. And yet when I look at the screen, I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. But when I look at my work, I don't know where to start. So there's that. And then I just bought my double pointed needles and I need to figure out how to do the I-cord. So I may be reaching out to my new Facebook friend for that. But yeah, I'm really enjoying knitting so far. And next up, I think I'd like to work on a beanie. All right, the final thing that I wasn't going to talk about, but I'll just add in, it is getting dark. I'm sorry, I'm really relying on this lamp. So it's getting quite dim lit and cozy in here. But the final thing I wanted to talk about was this book I'm reading. You may have heard of it because it's really popular right now. It's called My Friends by Frederick Backman. He is the author of A Man Called Ove, which is very famous and pretty sure got made into a movie as well. I've never read any of Frederick's work before, but something about this and people's reviews of this very much called to read it. I wanted to borrow it at the library, but there was literally 21 people waiting ahead of me. So I got impatient and I bought it, as much as I do like to go to the library. So far, I am only maybe like less than 50 pages in and I'm absolutely loving it. Every page feels like some kind of poetry. This author, yeah, he's right up my alley. My bookmark is a sheet of Lizzie McGuire stickers. Anyway, this book is about art and friendship. I wanted to read you a little part of the book that I was reading last night, and it's just so good and it's just written so well. So it says, surely taking life for granted is the whole point of being here, because what else are we doing? We're a bunch of lonely apes on a rock in the universe. Our breath consists of 80% nitrogen, 20% oxygen, and 100% anxiety. The only thing we can take for granted is that everyone we have ever met and everyone we have ever known and everyone we have ever loved will die. So how great must our imaginations be for us to even summon up the enthusiasm to get out of bed each morning? Endless. Imagination is the only thing that stops us from thinking about death every second. And when we aren't thinking, those are all our very best moments, when we're wasting our lives. It's an act of magnificent rebellion to do meaningless things, to waste time, to swim and drink soda and sleep late, to be silly and frivolous, to laugh at stupid little jokes and tell stupid little stories, or to paint big paintings, the biggest you can manage, and try to learn to whisper in color, to look for a way to show other people, this was me, these were my humans, and these were our farts. It's a weird feeling to know that you are potentially reading one of your most favorite books of all time as you're reading it for the first time. Anyway, that's my video. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you being here, and I'll see you in the next one.